pin.
Brother Craig a little bit disappointed where David could have taken the lead with a double there in the 6th frame. But the positive side of that is he's in the pocket on both lanes. In a match game play, you feel confident standing out there on the approach with your game when you know you can throw the ball in the pocket. And that's what Arnold has right now.
So another spare here in our second match for Dave Arnold.
Bob Handley says if there's any one problem he has, it's concentration. I think some of it emanates from him moving his head so much right at the pivot point and the point of release. You watch his head, it bounces up and down. It's hard to keep your eyes on your spot. See him pull up real hard there. Sometimes it's hard to keep your eyes on the target.
When Bob Handley cranks it up and strikes like here, it's a beautiful sight and sound of bowling.
A lot of natural ability as you watch his footwork and watch his right leg. He kicks it high in the air and then brings it all the way around. 1981, Hartford, Connecticut. He had the match well in hand and fouled with that right foot, the trailing foot. Kind of an unusual style, but it works for Handley, who can extend his lead to 27 with a strike here in the 7th.
Bob Handley leaving a 2-8-10. What can one say, Bo?
Chris, you know, just observing when we were in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago for 2 telecasts, and once again here in Fresno, it seems like when we get in these low humidity situations, very hot outside, close to 100 degrees, the oil carries down the lane, and the players have trouble finding the pocket. Once again, we're seeing that here today.
Okay. Okay, we're in our second match for the first this. As ugly as it looked, Bo, it's beautiful when you can convert it.
Well, great shot. He gets the ball to the left, the head pin, drives the head pin in the sideboard, taking out the 10. But once again, Chris, we talk about the oil carrying down the lane. We said the oil was applied 26 feet, dragged down to 41. Now the bowling balls, the low humidity and heat are taking that ball down to, that oil down to about 50 feet, making it very demanding. Well,
Bob Handley. 8-frame strike following an open, and most welcome because a 2-pin lead can increase it to 12. While we were away, we're running behind our allotted time schedule. Now watch this. 7 goes.
And the 10. The power of Handley paying dividends as the head pin rolls around, takes out 2 pins, puts him in a position to extend his lead in the 9th frame to 12.
And he is left to 2. A moment ago I mentioned what seems to be occasionally a familiar phrase, while we were away, because we're running behind our time allotment, a lot of spares. Our friend Dave Arnold made a strike before he was hit with that 1-2-10, which he converted. So that brings you up to date with a spare now, Bob Handley. Dave Arnold is back up. He trails by 2 pins. Good foundation strike.
For Dave Arnold, the first really good break in the match, trips the 4-pin here in the 9th frame. If he can strike in the 10th and 11th frames, he can shut out Bob Handley. Possible 219 for Arnold. Handley, the best he can do is 211. And Dave Arnold, by being the higher finisher in the 42-game format, picked to finish on this left-hand lane, so it should be his favorite lane. Now's the time to perform.
Easily beat the 25-second time allotted to get the shot off.
Unfortunately, the pins went flying out just as quickly as the 6-pin failed to take out a 10 in a crucial situation. Dave Arnold, the best he can do is 199, opens the door for Handley to sneak in with a 200 or a 201 game. Still up for grabs. Pin count very important for Dave Arnold here. It will force Handley to make 2 good shots to win the match. If he'd happen to get a 6 or a 7 count, Handley could have a bad shot, convert the spare, throw a decent count, and still win as he contemplates the score. A little rosin in the right hand to keep the perspiration down. Now Arnold, the best he can do, 199. Well, slides by the head pin, 1, 2, 4. Inning with a 196. Now Handley can throw a not so good of shot, if you want to say, and still win the match. Before, you would have forced Handley to at least strike on 1 or 2 balls. See Arnold sliding by. Handley set. A strike would lock it up.
Bob Handley now is 1-2, beating Mark McDowell in the first 191 to 171. So next game, right-hander against left-hander Hugh Miller. Watch this reaction.
His Sunday ball. You see that wrist roll around the ball. You see those eyes widen up. He knows he's got as much as he can get on the ball. Just saws the 5-pin out. He just needs 6 pins on 2 shots. Piece of cake for Handley. He'll meet Hugh Miller in the semifinal.
More than enough as we have a winner. Give you the final score when we return. We're in Fresno.